How's it going, everyone? It's Justin from Stand and Bang, and for today's video I'm going to be making my prediction and breakdown of UFC 237, Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. We also got Anderson Silva on this card versus Jared Cannonier. We got Jose Aldo fighting Alexander Volkanovski. And to be honest, the prelims are not that stacked. Usually, like for pay-per-views, even fight nights, they stack the prelims, and this a little on the weak side for prelims. I mean, there's still some cool fights, some recognizable names to look out to. We got BJ Penn still fighting. I don't know how I feel about that, but he's fighting Clay Guida. I think I can make my prediction right here. I think Clay Guida is gonna dominate that fight. But we got Irene Aldana versus Beth Hey. Irene always puts on a good fight. She's a Mexican lady, always puts on a good ass fight. So that's a good women's fight to look forward to. And see, yeah, that's about it for prelims. Oh, Nogueira's fighting Span. I think that's a dude from the Contender Series. Yeah, so for prelims, not that much, but it's a good main card. We got, like I said, we got Thiago Alves on the main card. We got Jose Aldo versus Volkanovski in a really amazing fight. Good fight for the featherweight division. Cannonier Silva and Namajunas versus Andrade. So let's get right into it. The first fight I'm going to be breaking down is Jose Aldo versus Alexander Volkanovski. This is a fight where it's like kind of different styles, where Aldo kind of likes to counter fight and then turn up when he has you hurt, where Alexander Volkanovski is just constantly pressuring you, throwing strikes. He has a really good gas tank, and he could really just put it on you and don't really stop. It was an eye-opener when he fought Chad Mendes, because Chad Mendes really kind of has that style, and he pretty much out Chad Mendes by doing the same style, just constant pressure, constant punches, and ended up finishing Chad. And that's where it opened a lot of people's eyes, especially for me. I didn't really know about Volkanovski before that, and then after he finished Chad, it was like, okay, this guy's for real. And he's gonna be fighting Aldo, and if he beats Aldo, man, he's gonna be up there to fight next for the title and hit him against Max Holloway. Aldo, I could see his leg kicks landing in this fight, since Volkanovski is constantly going to be coming forward, I believe, and constantly pressuring. So Jose Aldo is going to need to work those leg kicks. He doesn't throw them too much now later in his career. I don't know why, but we still see that he still has that brutal finishing instincts that he has. When he finished Jeremy Stevens, and then finished, what's that guy's name? Renato Moicano. And this is a fight that's really tough to call. I could see either man winning. I think this is the toughest fight to call on the card, because they both got all the tools to get it done. And then it seems like Aldo's had a resurgence in his last couple fights. Seems like a new man. He seems like he has a fire lit under him. Super tough to call. I'm going to go with Jose Aldo via decision. I think the experience factor, because he's faced styles like this. He kind of, he faced Chad Mendes twice, TKO'd him the first time, and then had an amazing back and forth fight and went to decision the second fight. And like I said, Chad Mendes has that same style as Volkanovski, so Jose Aldo should be familiar with this type of style. He should know how to nullify and implement his own game plan. So I got Jose Aldo via decision, but I won't be surprised if either man wins. On to the next fight, which is the co-main event of the evening, and I think this is a really good co-main event, especially since they're in Brazil. This was actually the card that, if you remember, when I believe Silva fought Israel Adesanya, after that fight, when he called out Nick Diaz, saying it makes sense to fight Nick Diaz and Curitiba, this is the fight that he was talking about. So we could have potentially had Nick Diaz on this card, but you know how Nick really is not accepting fights nowadays. So yeah, this is the card. So he's gonna be fighting Jared Cannonier instead, and Jared Cannonier has been looking like a killer. Even Dana White doesn't really get too hype on other people besides Conor, really, but he was really impressed the way Jared Cannonier finished his last fight against David Branch. Because Jared Cannonier kind of had a hole in his game where if you want to beat him, he has power, but if you want to beat him, you just kind of take him down and mummify his striking. And that's what David Branch tried to do, and he has amazing grappling, and Jared Cannonier ended up stuffing his takedowns, getting up from the ground, and knocking him out, and that opened a lot of people's eyes. And that's one thing. Jared has fought up at heavyweight. He's going to be fighting at middleweight, so you know that he's used to getting hit by bigger shots, and he's been hit by people that are way bigger than Silva. So I think Jared is going to have definitely the power advantage in this fight. Anderson Silva is going to have the striking technique advantage in this fight. It's where Jared kind of looks for one or two big punches. Anderson Silva sets it up, and we know Silva. He loves to counter strike, and he'll hit you with a front kick out of nowhere. So power advantage goes to Jared Cannonier. The technique and striking advantage goes to Anderson Silva. Another advantage I can see Anderson Silva having in this fight is in the clinch. He's still a real killer in the clinch, and we've seen that Jared Cannonier is not lacking in the clinch, but he's there to be hit. And with somebody that's we've seen in the past a killer in the Muay Thai clinch like Silva, I can see some shots being open for Silva to land. And we've seen Silva even against it seems like he hasn't learned his lesson. Like, he got knocked out by Chris Weidman by playing that game of leaving his chin out there to get hit, and just eating shots, rolling with the shots. And it seems like he hasn't learned his lesson, because he's still doing that. He did it in his last fight against Stylebender, and luckily Stylebender didn't drop him or nothing really, but he still played that game, and he got tagged with some shots, and he cannot do that with Jared Cannonier, because Jared, like I said, got bombs. He has crazy power, so he can't play that game. Anderson Silva needs to and I think he won't. I think he realizes he seems smart for the most part of when he could play the hands down game, and when he can't. But like I said, if he plays that with Jared, I could see him getting knocked for real. That leads me to my prediction. I'm gonna go with Anderson Silva. I think he's gonna pull it off. I got him by decision. It'd be cool to see if he gets like one of his knockouts. He hasn't got a knockout in a while. I think the closest thing he got to a knockout recently was when he hit the Bisping with that flying knee, I believe. I could be wrong, but so yeah, I got Anderson Silva by decision. It'll be cool to see if he gets a knockout though. And like I said, Jared Cannonier can put Silva's lights out with one punch, so there is that one punch factor for Jared Cannonier. But my final prediction: Anderson Silva via decision. He's going to get it done in his home country of Brazil. At least I'm predicting it. That leads us to the main event of the evening, everyone. Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade in Brazil. There's no way this fight can be a barn burner. We got Jessica fighting in her home country, wanting to put on an amazing show, get the belt. And then we got Rose Namajunas, who hasn't fought in over a year due to personal issues and a neck surgery. So I'm just super excited. Rose Namajunas is one of my favorite female fighters. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I can't wait. This Saturday, regardless of what happens, I'm probably gonna cry. If Rose wins, I'm probably gonna cry because I'm gonna be so happy. Her post-fight speech is always she's such a sweetheart. She's just always so sweet. And if she loses, I'm probably gonna cry as well, because if she loses, she's probably gonna lose by knockout. We've seen how hard Jessica hits, so I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. It should be an amazing night of fights. So with Rose versus Jessica, these two ladies obviously have very different styles, where Jessica comes pressuring forward, throws a lot of wide hooks, goes for takedowns and slams, and just constantly put pressure on you, and throws with absolute heat. She has crazy power. And then we got Rose, who's making leaps and bounds every fight. She's getting better every fight. She has amazing head movement. We've seen in the two Joanna fights, her head movement is off the charts. She has amazing style where she gets in, pop, and then gets out. She doesn't stay in the pocket to get hit. And that's gonna be just gonna pay off so much against this fight against Jessica, because Jessica's more stocky and short, and that's where Jessica wants Rose to be, in the pocket, and that's usually where Rose dips out. She doesn't really stay in the pocket, so that's one advantage that Rose has been using in the recent fights that will help her in this fight. Get in and then get out. Don't be there to get hit, because when she's in the pocket, that's when Jessica's gonna feel most comfortable, and it's gonna be there to hit Rose. And if she hits Rose, I don't know, man. We've seen Rose has a pretty good chin, but I don't know. It seems like it doesn't matter how good of a chin you have at this strawweight, that if Jessica hits you, like, these girls get stunned. Like, the fight with Claudia Gadelha was insane. The way she was putting it on Claudia, where usually Claudia does that to people. And then obviously when she knocked out Carolina in her last fight, was it her last fight? I believe so. Her last fight, when she knocked out Carolina, that was so brutal, and it really opened a lot of people's eyes. Like, whoa, this chick hits hard, because we never see people in a strawweight get knocked out by like punches, especially one punch, stuff like that. So Rose cannot stay in the pocket. Cannot stay in the pocket. She needs to get in and get out. Jessica brings the storm in the first couple rounds. We've seen it. It's a good example if you watch Carolina fight. There's this storm and constant pressure that she brings, that she tries to break you in the first couple rounds, and that's what Rose is going to need to survive the storm and stay composed. And that's another one of her advantages. She always stays super composed, and she's going to definitely need to stay composed in here and not break under the pressure of Andrade coming forward constantly and throwing those very, very wide, powerful hooks. And in Rose's last fight, Joanna was throwing a lot of hooks, and Rose was just being a little bit more tight with her hooks, and she was beating Joanna to the punch. And that could be something that's open for Rose in this fight, because Jessica does have insane power, and if she lands, it's going to be night-night, but she throws very wide. Her hooks are super wide. And we've seen Rose in her last couple fights with Joanna, where she was throwing more of a tight hook and beating Joanna to the punch every time. And Rose gets into the state where she just lets her strikes flow, and is no load up on it, no wind up on it, and it just comes out of nowhere. And that's gonna pay off a lot in this fight, where Jessica is throwing really load up wide hooks. I could even see a front kick or a head kick landing on Jessica's short, stocky, pressuring style. But the big X factor in this fight, in my opinion, is for Rose to not stay in the pocket with Jessica Andrade. If she stays in the pocket with Jessica Andrade, that's where Jessica is going to have the range to land, and she's going to feel the most comfortable. And that's where she seems like she wants her opponents to just kind of not like she tries to get her opponents to freeze up when she's just hitting them with barrage of punches. So Rose needs to stay calm, like Rose said in her, I believe in her second fight, in a post-fight speech, stay calm, cool, collected. I'm a world champion. She needs to stay calm. She needs to slide out, land some shots, and then slide out. Don't stay in the pocket to get hit by Jessica. And it should be an amazing fight. And I gotta go with Rose Namajunas. I gotta go with the champion. I think Rose is gonna take a couple shots in the first couple rounds where Jessica puts on that crazy berserker, storm that she brings. But I think eventually Rose is gonna keep working her, keep landing some shots, sliding away, and then eventually landing a big shot that's gonna rock Jessica Andrade. And I believe Rose is gonna get it done in the third round via TKO. Alright guys, that's my prediction and breakdown for UFC 237. We got some awesome fights to look forward to this weekend. You're a real one if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Till the next one. Peace.
She's got to figure some things out here defensively. Hard kick to the head. We got to fight, folks. What a jab.